I just pulled a Frank.
We have been talking for 3 minutes.
Correct.
And we have not been live.
Correct. I'm playing the theme song again. We're starting over.
Nobody knows where they might end up.
Nobody knows. Okay.
All right, so 3 minutes of a conversation.
Yeah, so we've been talking for 3 minutes. You guys have all of our fans out there have probably just been wondering, where are they? Why are they not here?
Well, Jacqueline, hi Jacqueline in the chat. Dr. Jacqueline is here. She was just asking me, is it happening tonight? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I don't see it. I'm like, hello, I just posted the link. Oh, we're not live. That's why. I pulled a Frank. I didn't hit the go live button 2 weeks in, and I'm screwing it up.
You know, this is the first time it's ever happened.
It is true. This is the first.
Are we on week 2? Yes.
This has ever happened. And you guys didn't miss too much. It was just us discussing
whether we were still friends.
When we go too long between our texts and whether or not we're still friends. And I think there was a discussion on how I love the theme song of Grey's Anatomy. So now you're caught up. So here we are. Hello, Steppers.
We are still friends.
Yes, by the way.
It's just when we go more than a day without talking. And by day, I mean like 12 hours. We think we're fighting.
Right. And we're like, I don't know. We haven't talked enough. Like,
okay.
And are the conversations like quality? Are they quality convos? I don't know. Or is it just like a check-in? Like, how are you? Good. How are you? Good.
Am I asking about her enough? Like checking in. Yeah, okay. Question. Last week, did we introduce ourselves? Because I can't remember, and I think we need to do that today.
Right. Let's do it anyway, just in case we didn't. You go first. This is your channel, which I am so excited to be on your channel because it deserves so much love.
Hi, everyone. I'm Angela Dahlgren. Welcome to the Gray Area. I'm here with my co-host, Jen Snyder.
Hello.
If you don't know, we also co-host another podcast together called Magical Mommy Monday. We talk about everything mom life, the good, the bad, the ugly, with a little bit of Disney sprinkled in.
Like pixie dust. We are also streaming on our Facebook page tonight. So if you want to go hit like over on that Facebook page, if you're watching on YouTube, feel free on the Magical Mommy Monday Facebook. So hello to everyone over there.
Hello, everyone. If you are here watching, please tell us where you are from. Yeah. And Jen, you talk because I'm pretty sure I have to burp.
Oh, okay, sure. I was thinking as you're asking where everyone's from, if we should just put like AOL chat room style age, sex, location, but I don't think people do that anymore.
I don't know if Stuffers would get that.
Yeah.
I think she's too young. I'm already sweating and we have not even started talking.
I'm sweating too. I think it's the kombucha I had before this.
Yeah, I think it's my healthy fruit snacks that I had before this too. And the pizza.
Same. Dr. Jacqueline, originally from the Gray Area. Really? I mean, isn't that it? From Seattle-ish?
Oh my gosh. She could know Meredith. This is crazy.
ASL was a thing in my youth. All right, Stephers, fair enough. On MySpace? Or
yeah, is this like AIM?
Okay. When I want to know when AOL chat rooms like went away?
All I know is that
I am much older than you as well. I'm probably older than anyone who is chatting now, which makes me really sad because where's Frank when we need him to be the oldest?
I know. I got my first AIM, but like AOL, not like AIM. First AOL when I was in 4th grade.
Yeah.
Because I remember I went into a chat room and I was like, anyone here in 4th grade? And looking back, I'm like, oh, that is so dangerous. But at the time, it was new. And, creepy people weren't out there yet.
I was all up in the chat rooms all the time. And I was also convinced that I was going into a chat room. I don't know what made me think this, But really who I was talking to were all these like kids and teenagers hanging out almost like in a computer lab. Like this is how I pictured it. And I'm like, hey, have you seen so-and-so? Like they don't know who that is. They're not in the same room. What is wrong? What's happening?
I know. I get it. That probably means we were too young to be in a chat room.
Yeah. I mean, and I remember like meeting people and they would want to meet in person and getting mad at my parents that they wouldn't let me. And really, isn't it for the best?
I feel like you had some good parents there.
Wasn't that one of those moments of you'll understand when you're older?
And lo and behold, we do.
We get it. We get it. Thanks for saving my life.
I just remember going into like Sailor Moon chat rooms. I was in like Pokemon ones. Okay, we're a little off topic right now. Okay. So welcome to the gray area.
Yes.
If you're joining us for the first time, we don't talk about chat rooms the entire time. I feel like we're misrepresenting ourselves. We talk about a few episodes of Grey's Anatomy.
Yes.
If we did one a week like we did last week, we would be here forever. Yeah. So last week was episode 1 because it was our pilot. This week is episodes 2 to 5.
Yes. Through 5.
2 through 5.
Right.
Okay. So let's begin. Yes. I only got the summary for episode 2 because the Grey's fandom page is not working out right now. I don't know what's going on. So we're just gonna have to wing it for the other 3. But I do have my random facts.
Oh yeah, I love random facts.
Very thrilled to share those with you today.
Excellent.
Okay, so episode 2. Just going to read a little synopsis for you. Basically, Dr. Burke, Preston Burke, is like, why am I not the next chief of surgery? And Dr. Weber's like, well, let me count the ways. And Derek helps a victim. Well, a potential victim. She ended up like kicking her person's butt. And in the process, bites off his peen. So then that means that Meredith has to like carry it around in a little cooler all day and night. And I mean, those are kind of like the really big things of the episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
So where do you want to start?
Well, I feel like we have some comments that have
to be
addressed.
We do. Yes. I love that Dr. Jacqueline has brought her notes.
Yes, she is ready, and I'm here for it. I feel like we need to have her on for a show.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. So how does this idiot not know ferry boats are a thing in Seattle? He's been here for 6 weeks. Oh my God, open your eyes. You know what? Fair point. Because if you've ever seen the movie Serendipity, you see she's going home on the ferry boat. I mean, they're everywhere when talked about. Or if you've read, I'm blanking. I've been blanking a lot. I was blanking last night too.
She is referring to Derek. She's referring to Derek Shepherd.
Yes, that's right.
Not realizing that there were ferry boats. P.S. I'm pretty sure at some point, like most of the doctors take the ferry boats to work. So I don't know how this was missed for the record.
Right.
But yes, Derek Shepherd has a thing for ferry boats.
Yes. And surgical nurses are amazing. Yes. And we're going to get into him because I'm feeling the same way, Dr. Jacqueline.
Okay. Yes. How would you feel about this episode?
Okay. General overview of now having watched 2 through 5. 1, I feel like this show, so far at least, I feel like a lot of medical shows concentrate on the cases that are going on in the hospital. And there's heavy focus there with each patient, what's going on. Also, let's get the entire hospital involved on solving this case, which I would like to know, does that happen in real life? Like, God forbid I got myself into a horrific, unusual situation where I had some random thing. I want every doctor in that hospital figuring it out for me, but I kind of feel like that's not real life. Can you speak to that from a family of doctors, Angela?
Okay, so here's the thing with that.
Yeah.
They kind of mix specialties, I feel, in TV shows a lot. Like, why are there so many surgeons coming down to the ER and coming down to the pit all the time? Why do they have surgical interns discharging patients when they just have a discharging person, like an admin person coming around with their little cart and their little stand-up computer doing that? And surgical interns bringing labs. I just feel like there's a lot of things that they're just giving them things to do so they can be in the right place in the right time.
Yes.
Also, you'll find out that these doctors have like side specialties and you're like, no, your focus is this. Why are you doing way this? Does not make sense. So yes, it's very opportunistic for sure.
Yes. And I agree, Dr. Jacqueline, that was my second point. This show seems to be more about them than the patients. It's more about their lives and what's going on in them as doctors and their social lives and all of that kind of stuff. So those were my two umbrella points. But for this episode specifically, one, the first mention of McDreamy. It's the first time we are hearing McDreamy.
Yes, which I spoiled last week.
But I knew, because how do you not know McDreamy? I mean, are you living under a rock? But yes. To your point of people mixing specialties and all that, you have Meredith and George going up to see all the babies in the nurseries to give them some endorphins to help them through their day. And Meredith sees this baby turn blue. And you know what? Thank God she did. Thank God she did. Because what is happening to that baby? He would have just gone home and that would have been that.
I know. Yeah. So, and did she put her nose where she shouldn't have? Yes. Absolutely. But that other surgical intern, who's apparently just with babies only, she thought that it was nothing. Which, if a baby's turning blue, I feel like parents who are not a surgical intern know that a baby's turning blue. That's not good. Even if it's just a heart murmur, that's just fine, benign. Like, your baby's turning blue. Like, we need to get this figured out.
Yeah, that's not okay. And, you know, she risked her career because she got in a little bit of a trouble, a little hand slap. But you know what? I would do that too. I would do it.
Yeah.
So that's that. My low point of this episode was obviously the penis. Because just like, ew, she's just carrying it around in a cooler the whole time. But also because of the storyline itself. And you have the victim who is laying in this hospital and she has no family and she just moved to the area and they can't find anyone for her. So that was really sad. And I am glad, though, that the guy ended up coming in so then they could get him because he deserves that. And he deserved what he got as well. So
totally agree.
So there's a high point at the end, but I mean, overall, it's a low point.
I mean, when Dr. Weber's little secretary, not little, she's great. She's in the show for a while. When his secretary was like, "Can I see it?" I was like, "Yeah, I want to see it too." But that's just not made for TV.
Right. That is not ABC brand. That's under the Disney umbrella. They could not be showing that. No way.
Maybe FX.
Yes.
Maybe that show. But yes, Dr. Jacqueline, I agree. Maybe she was just like a peds intern. Yeah. And not a surgical intern. Yes. Absolutely. Makes sense.
Another high point, the kiss of McDreamy and Meredith in the elevator. That's a high point. And their little banter. You know what? I'm enjoying their banter at this point. I like it. Yeah.
It's cute right now. It is.
Yes, exactly. And I think the episode overall had the theme of like drawing lines, trying to keep like work people here, roommates here, family here. And obviously none of that is happening on this show. It's all mixed in and everything is jumbled. So yes, there's that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that was good.
Okay. What did you think of this episode?
It's so funny because I've like seen these so much.
Right.
Okay.
See, you have, because I have like the fresh eyes. You have like the veteran. I've seen this episode 20 times. So.
And it's funny because like these episodes honestly just kind of jumble together. Yeah. So I have to keep looking at the summaries and be like, no, this only happens in this episode. So I can't move forward. I can't bring up something else. Low point was the potential rape victim. It just makes me sad and thinking that she's all alone. And that whole thing just makes me sad. But the high point I thought was just kind of like her being like, no, I think there's something wrong with the baby. And then that attending being like, why are you here? And Burke's like, because I told her to be here.
Yeah.
And he's like, yep, let's get this taken care of. And baby's my patient now. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we move on to the next episode, here's your Grey's fact of the day.
Yay!
You're going to hear this 3 more times. I feel, and I didn't fact check this, but I'm almost positive this is true, that Rob Lowe was supposed to be Derek Shepherd.
I can totally see that.
Right? I can
Absolutely.
too.
Yeah.
I feel like you would have done a good job.
Yes.
Would have done okay.
Mhm.
That being said, I do think that Patrick Dempsey did a really good job being Derek.
Mhm.
But yeah, he was supposed to be Rob Lowe, and I think he turned it down or something. But then we got Patrick Dempsey as we know it.
Mhm.
So that is your in between episodes fact.
I love it.
Next one.
This is a good one, by the way. This is a good low point. I agree, Dr. Jacqueline. For sure.
Yes.
Don't be doing it. Don't be doing it.
And he does this a lot in the first season where he uses like women's like organs and girl parts as like a dig, like having ovaries or boobs. And I'm like, bro, do you know what we do with these?
I'm not a fan. I feel like each episode I get a little more annoyed with him and his misogyny and his sexual harassment. But we'll get into that.
Like we grow children and like feed them with our bodies. What do you do?
Yeah. What do you contribute to society?
Oh,
right.
You make carbon dioxide. That's wonderful. Good for you. Okay. Episode 2. So there's a bike race called like the Dead Baby Bike Race. Horrible name. And a lot of people are hurt. One's left brain dead. One, sexually assaults Meredith by kissing her without her permission.
Correct.
And then, but then it's the whole story of like Christina and Izzy trying to find out who the brain dead guy is, his family, and then getting his organs harvested.
Yes.
And I thought that this was kind of a good one for Christina because she really isn't a people person.
Yeah.
She's kind of just like there for the job.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's the extent of it. I don't even know other people's names, like whatever. But this kind of forced her to be in that uncomfortable position of like a lot of emotions. And then except when she couldn't do a good job and defer to Izzy, but then also kind of sit in the uncomfortableness and push through.
Yes.
So yeah.
Okay. And what did you think of the episode overall? You go first this time with the veteran eyes.
What did I think of it? Okay, again, I mean, it's not my fave. The next few are not my fave.
Yeah.
A lot of Derek being like, come on, go out with me. And her being like, why? No. Like, why are you pushing so hard? And then her being like, it's the thrill of the chase. I hide though. And I think this is the episode when doesn't she like push Alex into a bunch of lockers this episode?
Is that this one or the next one?
I think it is this one.
Yeah, it is this one because in the next one, then that's the sexual harassment with Izzy. So it's like 2 episodes in a row with him.
Yeah. Sure. Thank God for character evolution is all I can say. What'd you think?
Okay, so let's see. So my high point was the idea of believing in miracles because that was said in the episode. And it was interesting to see like the progression, the ribbon that is someone who is donating organs versus someone who is receiving them and how it affects both families and how it affects the doctors representing both. I thought that was a pretty interesting take on it. I have my other high point as the McDreamy banter, of course. But one of my low points was the wife of John Doe when they brought her in. I just felt like you're coming in and you're finding out your husband is brain dead. I didn't feel it from you. I didn't feel what I would feel. And I just felt like it was more of like is there any chance? No. Okay. Right. I don't know. And then later they're talking about like which organs she's agreeing to donate with her like young daughter there.
In the room.
This is traumatic. I don't know if I agree with this. Of course, this is just me nitpicking the episode a little bit, but I just, I worry about the trauma
So as far as like casting, acting wise, you are unimpressed. And then secondary, having her daughter in the room.
Yes.
Oh, can we take your dad's skin? Is that okay?
Like, why is she in the room?
Can we like bring her to a social worker, please? This is
exactly.
Yeah. Can we just turn on something for her? No. I agree. I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, I would not want her in the room for this.
No. Also, I feel like this. Well, you're already seeing it. This is episode 3. You've already seen it, and it like hits a point here, and it continues the next few episodes where you kind of are like, poor George. Like he's just
George,
easy target, basically. You know, like he's the one that everyone's kind of taking a little bit of advantage of. Also, kind of like brushing off. Also, kind of disrespecting. You know, like so. It's just like poor George. Also, I have here Real World House, because that's kind of what Meredith's house has become with all the doctors moving in, and a bonus finding out George likes Meredith.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was just like bloop. Oh, we're not gonna talk about it anymore.
Oh, like this is all new for you.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah. All right. I need to catch up on these comments here.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm,
yes. Mm-hmm. George has a thing for Meredith.
That's right.
Just keep that feather in your cap, okay? Keep it there.
And I feel, you know what's so funny is as I'm watching the shows, things are popping back into my head of like, oh, I remember hearing something about something, but I don't remember the details. But just along the way that I'm like, doesn't this happen? I don't know. I feel like maybe all of that kind of stuff.
Just you wait.
Okay. Oh, does it get talked about a lot? Oh.
Oh, it's so fun for someone who hasn't watched. I'm just like, wow, I get to share this. Okay. Well, speaking of George, so Shonda Rhimes, you know, she created the show and many others.
Yeah.
She knew these characters so well that she's the one who like stocked their lockers. So I have my notes here because it's just easier to read off of them. So for like in Meredith's locker, she has a stack of old birthday cards that she planned to mail but never got around to. And she has like 3 alarm clocks because she's afraid of oversleeping. George, his contents kind of come from fear. So he has like old textbooks and journals and stuff like that. Izzy for sure has a lot of snacks because she feels like if she's like nourished that she has the energy for everything and to work. And then Christina has things like a Palm Pilot, LOL, that has like the latest research articles. And then she has like high heels to go out in after work and then condoms because you never know.
I love it.
So, and then that's how she kind of uses them to write their stories, is just keeping those little details in her head about the characters. Like it was really important for her to remember when she was writing for Burke that his mom owns a restaurant. And then it kind of just affects how she writes for him.
Interesting. I like that. I love these little fun facts. I'm all about behind the scenes. I'm all about it. So I love it. Also a fun fact, but it's about me. Just because you mentioned Palm Pilot, I was the assistant manager of the Palm retail store in Rockefeller Center. Boom.
Is this when you told? No. You were also an intern and worked in Rockefeller Center, right?
Yes. No. Okay. So I was an intern for Soap Opera Weekly when I was in college. Don't mind my pencil falling.
But wasn't that in Rockefeller Center?
No, that was on Madison Ave. This was a job after I left. So the marketing company I worked for in Disney, when I moved back to New York, I stayed with the company and opened the Palm retail store in Rockefeller Center with them.
So that's what it was. Oh my gosh.
You
were a clacker.
I loved my Trio phone. That was like my first cool phone I had because I always had like a Nextel flip.
Did you have a Razor?
No.
I just called them a sliver because I forgot what they were called.
You got a sliver? You got a sliver.
You got a sliver? Oh, yeah, it's my finger.
Yeah.
My daughter's teacher is emailing me.
Okay. Oh, okay. Everything okay? She acting up on Zoom today?
No, it's like the Google Meet code for tomorrow is.
Yeah.
Okay, so next episode, which would be episode 3?
4?
3? 4? 4.
4?
4.
Yes.
Okay. Episode 4.
Yeah.
So Christina ends up getting Meredith's mom, her former scrub nurse.
Yes.
So Alice Gray's former scrub nurse.
Mhm.
And that really affects her. It just does.
Mhm.
And then George, poor George, again, kind of getting crapped on. Izzy and Meredith are just treating him like another girl in the house. And it's really kind of emasculating him and goes kind of over to Izzy's storyline between her being a model and then a patient who used to use her photos.
Yeah.
So that is what that episode's about. I'm
Mhm.
like, what can I say during a live stream? I don't know.
This is an excellent point, Dr. Jacqueline. Why isn't there more than one? That's a huge house.
It is a huge house.
Mm-hmm.
And even in further episodes, I feel like you only ever see one bathroom.
Yes. Weird.
I know.
You're right. You are just so matchy today. Can we just pause for a moment? Can you show everyone your outfit?
Okay. I wish that I had brought my shoes in because I also have like pink shoes, but here's my outfit.
Yeah.
You can get this at Target.
Love it.
Target. And then it comes with the matching pants.
Wait, that whole thing is from Target?
So guess who needs
Target
one? So we
pickup.
can be twins.
As if we're not twins with this shit.
I feel like this is an extra small top.
Yeah.
And then I feel like the pants I got in a small.
Okay.
Because since I've been doing the bike every day, I just feel like my
Just toning it all up.
Yeah,
And you're just, you need
baby's
smaller
got some
sizes.
booty. Yeah. No. So that's for size.
I love it.
references.
But I love it because you have like your cute little pink cup with the bow and you got Minnie Mouse and then you got your pink headphones and it's just so
I'm
cute.
feeling very confident today. I also did not brush my hair.
You never know. All right. So,
Okay.
all right.
So, oh my gosh, I'm sweating. You complimented me and then I started sweating. Okay.
That's because you're a dillo.
Trying
This
to
is what
calm down.
happens. You
Trying
don't know
to
how to
calm
handle
down.
them.
Okay. Oh, and also the guy with like the 10 nails in his head.
Mhm. Which was a blessing in disguise.
Jorge Cruz?
I don't remember.
Jorge
his
Cruz.
name.
Yes.
Mhm.
We're down to names now. That's how much I know this episode.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So how did you feel?
Okay. I felt like this was the first episode that made me verklempt. You know, I am one, I cry at game shows. I cry at movies. I'll cry at commercials. I cry a lot because I'm so emotional. I'm unemotional until silly things like that happen. And then I cry. This Is Us. I cry every episode. Anyway, Inside
Yes.
Out. I cry.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Who doesn't?
By the way, can we just go back for a second? Because as you're talking about Shonda Rhimes with all the characters and how she's writing them, it almost seems like a little Inside Out. Everyone, you know, all the like there's joy, there's sadness, there's disgust, there's
Mhm.
fear. Like it's kind of like that. I'm just
No, we could totally do like a side by side of each character.
yes.
Post it on.
Dr. Jacqueline, I cry at every game show. Any game show, when there is a winner, I will cry because I'm happy for the person that won.
That is so wholesome. Oh my gosh. That is so
I
cute.
cry every time. It doesn't matter.
So
It is
cute.
Deal or No Deal, Jeopardy. I don't care. Family Feud. I don't care who it is. I will cry at whoever wins in a happy
for
tears
them.
way. Yeah,
Oh my
it's
gosh.
the same as like I feel like I got it from Papadillo because Papadillo would never admit to crying, but if he watches like sports movies in the end with the big game, whatever that is, he's all welled up with like the, you know. I don't care. It doesn't matter what game show, Dr. Jacqueline. If someone is winning, I am crying. That's how that works.
I need to spend like just a week at your house. And I just need to
Crying.
observe. And I just need to see like how accurate all these things are. I also need to just meet your parents and hug them because I just really feel like I want to hug your dad.
My mom would be like, I don't know where she comes from. I don't know. I don't know.
What is this? Do all Minnesotans do this? Is
Yeah.
this a thing?
Yeah.
It's not. Actually,
Anyway.
I don't know. Okay.
Okay, so back to the episode. So this is the first one that made me verklempt. And I think a lot of that had to do with Liz, who is a scrub nurse, because I think a lot of her story that it was an emotional story. She had worked at that hospital. Everyone at the hospital knew her. She came there so that she would have the best care in her final days. Like all of that is very emotional. There's also this tie to Meredith and her mom. Then when Meredith goes to visit her mom, she's showing all these pictures of her childhood and her dad, and she has no memory. But then as soon as she starts talking about Liz, she remembers right away. So there's just a lot there that I felt a connection to her. I also felt like this is the first episode where Christina is kind of coming out of her shell a little bit. And because she is usually so straightforward and not the bedside manner doctor you call in, she's like the straight shooter. And this one, though, she's all in and is really like trying with this patient, even as she has the DNR and she's trying to save her still and all of that.
So that's what I love, though. It's like Liz Fallon, is that her name? Liz kind of calls her out, though. Like she's like, I know your type.
Yeah.
And just because you don't remember someone's name, it doesn't mean that you're a bad doctor. It's just there's two types of doctors. I know this. Yeah. And then she's like, I want surgery. I want surgery. And once you realize there's not going to be surgery, I just feel like it just like changes her whole perspective. The whole like, you're not there to save someone. Yeah. They're there to die.
Yeah.
And it just like kind of messes her up a little bit.
It would mess me up a lot.
Did you catch the little thing between her and Burke at the end?
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, that's in my notes.
How are you shipping them?
Okay, so do I have that in my notes specifically? No, but I see it developing. I see the eye connections happening. I see the emotion behind them. I see it. I see it swirling, but you see it more than the next episode. Also, this episode kicks off of just like waking patients up in the morning to check in on them, which just gave me flashbacks because if you have ever stayed in the hospital, you know you don't get a good night's sleep. So really getting woken up in the morning, like, it doesn't matter. You woke me up 10 times during the night to check my vitals.
I was up an hour ago. What's the difference?
That's the worst. Let's see. Oh, so Izzy, because this is the big episode with her where she gets sexually harassed and her pictures end up all over the locker room. Why is he not fired? Why is he not fired by now? We are 4 episodes in. He should be fired for sexual harassment. These are 2 people that have gotten sexually harassed now, but also it was 2005. So
I know, that's why.
That's why. That's why. Exactly. But because she was a model, of course she was. I mean, I think anyone watching from the beginning and know she was a model was to assume she did it to pay for medical school because she wanted to be a doctor. And she kind of says that by the end, like, I'm out of debt. You're not. So what up? But I also feel like she's going to feel like she needs to prove herself more, but isn't everyone, because Meredith has the following in the footsteps of her mom. George has the 007. Everyone's proving themselves in some way. And I think this is very much Izzy's. She's just going to have to prove herself more that this is not who she was. This is what she did to get where she needs to be.
Well, and that is a stigma that, I feel is and was out there. You know, that if you're a model, you're based on your looks and your body, and no one really cares what's in your brain, but she is proving the opposite. And that was really nice to see on TV. Yes. Dr. Jacqueline. Okay. So in the first episode, she's mentioning that Meredith was narrating to her mom. Yeah. So the original show was going to be that, where her narration was her kind of summarizing her day to her mom. And they ended up changing that. So that's why the pilot was like that.
Interesting.
Yes. I guess that's my last random fact. Is it weird that Christina basically got assigned to a hospice case, though? Yeah. I mean, why would they have a surgical intern doing that? But she's maybe a special sitch.
Hey, Shep. But maybe to try to get her out of that shell. Because it's not just, as Liz was saying, it's not just about what you're doing. It's remembering who you're working with as well, and that everyone has a name as well, and all of that. So I think I agree. Few more points on this, if I may.
Absolutely.
So also, I didn't love the whole like because this is more about Izzy being sexually harassed. The whole, she has a patient who doesn't want anything to do with her as a doctor because he fantasized about her through the magazine, and he doesn't want her in the room as he gets emasculated, if you will.
Right.
And I just felt like, I just don't love this whole thing, because that's not her problem. She's a doctor. That's your problem. Get over it. Like,
Right.
I don't even like, and then what? You're trying to make her feel bad?
But you did.
I don't like that. Don't like it.
It's your fault that you posed in your underwear and I did this to you.
Yes, exactly.
So you can't be in my surgery. And then she felt bad about it and was like, Dr. Bailey, I really shouldn't be in there because I posted my underwear for him to look at me. It's like, no, that's so messed up.
Correct.
But again, guys, this was 2005-ish, so I guess things have changed, and this was a pretty, forward-moving show at the time. But
yes,
still,
and the misogyny in the OR with that older doctor, who I'm assuming you probably don't even see much of because you haven't seen him yet. He's this random older doctor that came in for this one surgery, and that's it. And he was very misogynistic, and all of it, and it was gross. And get him out.
No.
Jorge and his wife, they chose more years instead of less years, but more memories. And I think that was kind of emotional too, because this whole nail gun incident was a blessing in disguise to see that he had a tumor, which he needed taken care of and all of that. But, that is an emotional, real thing people have to choose and try to figure out for themselves and all that jazz. And the show ended with a real date between Meredith and Derek, which was lovely.
So things are finally progressing there.
Yes.
Yeah. It was big. It was a big. Okay. Last episode. Okay, I'll share my last fact. Why not? Okay. Bailey's name was originally supposed to be Deborah.
I don't like that.
Deborah.
I don't like that for her.
And she was supposed to be like sassy and spunky. And
didn't you say she was going to be like this blonde-haired woman?
With curly, bouncy, curly blonde hair.
No, that's
not Deborah. I'm Deborah Bailey.
I don't love it.
No, we got the boss-ass bitch, Miranda Bailey. Yeah. Can I not say that? I did.
We did. So we did it.
It's live. Okay, so this last episode, Meredith realizes she could be sued for making a mistake during surgery. And she's still hiding her mom's secret. George finds a towel in a patient's chest cavity.
That's my low point.
Izzy throws a party.
Yep.
And then Bailey catches Meredith and Derek taking a joyride with each other.
Yes, joyriding. So, all right, I talked a lot. I feel like I went through a lot of notes in the last one. So tell me your thoughts on this episode.
I mean, I love your notes because, again, how many times have I seen these? Okay, but my favorite episode of the 5 so far.
Yeah.
Very fun. Very fun. I like how towards the end, Meredith is like, what is happening? My house is a wreck. All of my Tiffany lamps. And then she's like, you know what? I don't give an F.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm just going to drink my tequila and just go with it.
Yes.
And I kind of wish that I could be like that. And just you try to control, you try to balance all and juggle all the balls. And then you're like,
yeah,
screw it.
Yep.
I want to be more like that moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think you should just do it. You're at your parents' tonight.
Liberating.
Sit up on the coffee table. Just do it.
You know what? Let's just dance.
Come on. Your parents probably have some liquor laying around. Grab a bottle and just do it. Get Mama Terry up on the table. She had her vaccine today. She'll be fine.
I'll just have another Disney Springs moment where I had one drink and then was hula hooping in the middle of Disney Springs.
I love it.
It's just really looking forward to it. So it's just really fun. She's just whatever. Things happen. It's been a day. With or without alcohol, that's always just just let it go. Let things go. The towel thing, not good. I know Christina was really stressing about that because she's like, oh, I may or may not be into this guy, but I also look up to him because he does heart things, and this is really serious.
Yeah.
Sure. And then between what happened with Meredith and Derek at the end and Bailey seeing, first of all, very funny. She called it a tail wagon, and I laughed. I don't know. It remains to be seen how that's going to be handled.
Interesting. So yeah, the main storyline of this episode is, adulting is responsibility, and why do we have to be adults? And it's way overrated.
I
agree. Same, Meredith. Same. So now we have kind of the culmination of Burke and Yang. I see Dr. Jacqueline, you're like, why are they together? I also feel like within 5 episodes, there are a lot of shenanigans happening at this hospital. There are a lot of people coupling up in various ways. Is that what goes on?
They have a lot to prove in this season 1.
Yeah.
If they want to get a season 2, things have to be dramatic.
I know. You need a lot of cliffhangers, a lot of, what's going to happen over here? Oh, well, I get it. I literally have a towel and a patient with exclamation points and question marks.
I know, how does that happen, though?
Yeah. Let me ask you something. Is this whole Izzy has a boyfriend thing, who we haven't heard about until episode 5, do we ever hear about him again?
A, no, you never hear about him again.
Holla.
B, hi, Frankie. C, I'm pretty sure that when they're doing surgery, they count every sponge, every towel, and make sure they have it. So the fact that a towel even got lost, I'm like, how would this happen? This is just sloppy work.
It's gross. It's very gross. Okay, but we do see Hank again?
No.
Oh, we don't see him again. Okay,
no,
that's what I thought. Okay, so here's what I wrote down. Yeah. Izzy not being fair to her boyfriend, more to that story, or a random blip in the storyline so she can have a breakup story. So I figured that was just it. It's like, oh yeah, she had a boyfriend. We haven't heard about him for the first 5 episodes. Here he is. There he goes.
And you'll never hear about him again.
Right. It's like, what was the point of him? Why was he there? And she wasn't into him. I don't understand.
I feel like maybe it further separates her from her model life.
Right.
And maybe gave her and Alex a reason to spend some time together during the brain surgery.
Right.
I don't know about the second part. That's just me guessing. But yeah, I think it was just to show how much she's changed and how serious she is from her old life.
Right.
I think that must be the whole point of it. But yeah, it's why are you here? We don't have room for hockey players in this episode.
Yeah, there's why? What's the point of you? And then she threw a party because she doesn't want to hang out with you. She doesn't want to be with you anymore. And then she has resentment because she thinks you only like all her model friends. It was just weird. It was just it's just filler. It was just.
It wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, I get that, but. Anyway,
what does Dr. Jacqueline have to say? If I was a surgical intern, I would follow them for sure. Can't be worth the risk of getting kicked out, having to find a new program and start over, hard pass. You'd think most of us would feel that way.
Right.
But it seems like our surgical interns in Grey's Anatomy are always looking for a reason to kind of push the boundaries of rules.
That's true, Steppers. There are rules. They just don't follow them. It's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Jacqueline, are we feeling Christina and Burke? I'm getting the feeling that no, we aren't. I am not minding this thus far. It's just kind of, it's awkward and weird, and they just kind of stare at each other.
But the door closes at the end of this episode and locks. That's the end of this episode.
I'm sure they're just taking a nap in the on-call room, Jen. They work 100-hour weeks.
My prediction, not knowing how this will play out, is that for a while, this is going to be very it was what it was. Leave me alone. And it will be very awkward, but then they keep doing it.
Okay, so this is something that we kind of have to talk about. We're nearing the end of talking about our last episode for the evening. To be honest, Jen and I really struggled to get through 4 episodes in a week, which is weird because I was telling her that I could literally do 6 episodes during a cleaning day. So those watching, was 4 too much this week? Right. Should we go for 3 and then save the finale, the season finale for its own?
So how many episodes are there?
Well, we have 4 left for this season.
There's only 4 left for the season? We should just push through.
That's what I feel. I feel like we should just grind it out.
Yeah, totally. Do you all agree, Steffers? Dr. Jacqueline? Frank, do you agree? I know you're watching it.
I feel like we kicked all the boys out.
I know Shep was here for a hot second. He was out.
Jacqueline, I really love that you share your opinions with us.
Yes, for sure.
Because then it's not just Jen and I talking to each other, and I love this third side of it.
So if we just iron out the rest of the season, that leaves us with what, episodes 6 through 10, right? Okay. So if it's a short, there's 10 episodes. Do it. It's on Netflix. What are you doing?
Ooh, Frankie's going to try to catch up with us.
Yeah. Listen, you watch the Hallmark movies. You can watch this.
I think that's acceptable. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to finish season 1, everyone.
Yeah.
And then next week, we will talk. Ooh, okay. Next week, we're going to take a break because I will be in Florida the week after.
That's right.
So that's going to be our season break.
Right. Perfect timing. So we'll finish out the season next week, then the following week break, then we'll come back for season 2.
Yeah, you'll get a break. I love this. Okay, and then we'll start fresh with season 2. This sounds good.
Yes. You know what we didn't do last time? And I set up our fancy banners. We didn't do any kind of plugs at the end.
Oh. I'm not good at that. Okay.
Let's see. Boom. Boom.
Oh
There's
gosh,
all of us
we are.
on Twitter.
On the Twitters.
On the Twitter. On the Facebook and Instagram. We're dilloing this whole thing. I'm literally just showing this.
I know. No one's saying it. We're just like,
we're not saying anything. Here we go. Here's the banner.
Write it
down if you want. Follow us on Twitter. Angela's at Angela Dahlgren. I'm at Janillo. And then we're also at Magic Mom Monday. Our last episode this past Monday had Jeremy from Main Street Magic Podcast, Adam from the Mouse and More Podcast, and Frank and Christina from the Magical Hour Podcast. And we did a little Disney panel, which was very exciting. So if you love Disney as much as we do, go check it out. We talked about a little Disney news, some Disney favorites, some Disney memories, some Disney merch, all of it. So you should check that out. We're also on Facebook and Instagram at Magical Mommy Monday. And we do a once a month Dillo's sibling reunion with our brother Frank over on youtube.com/DillosDiz. That'll be happening the 29th of this month. So join us for that. That'll be a little post-trip recap with Angela after her Universal trip.
Little trip report there. Oh my gosh, you did such a good job with that ending.
Thanks so much.
It was really good.
Thank you.
And Dr. Jacqueline cracking me up with these Percocet comments. Oh my gosh.
Love it. Well, thank you, Steffers and Dr. Jacqueline and Frank and Chef for all popping in to say hello. Be sure to like and subscribe to Angela's channel because she is going to be just coming out with the content left and right, and you're going to want to be here so you don't miss it. So be sure to do that as well. I got to get rid of this. We all know the Dillos sibling reunion by now. Okay, there we go. So that's it. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching episodes 2 through 5. And we'll see you next week to finish out season 1 of Grey's Anatomy.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.